Hello, and welcome back to this episode of the Rekindling the Legacy podcast. I'm Dr. Juhi Gupta.
And I am Professor Andrew Davis.
And together we are here to retell the stories of some of the heroic women who fought for their freedom against all the odds and made India the nation it is today.
We are coming to you courtesy of the Inclusive Futures Foundation. You can find out about us on the web at theinclusivefuturesfoundation.com. But we are an India-based NGO that works on women and children, on the environment, on healthcare, on education, and on culture, seeking to produce positive interventions in all of those areas that will make life better for everybody in the world. You can find out more about us from our website.
Thank you so much for joining us on what we hope will be an inspirational journey through the lives and experiences of some of the underestimated and often unacknowledged pioneering women who shaped Indian history.
As with so much of any nation's history, it's often the men's voices that are heard, the male names that are recognised. Most people throughout India, and indeed many all over the world, will know the names of Gandhi, Jinnah, Nehru, and their contemporaries. But India's freedom wasn't won by men alone. There were women politicians, women protesters, women revolutionaries, and women soldiers at the heart of the independence struggle too. And we think it's time some of their stories became more widely known. So in the first season of this podcast, we're focusing on rekindling the legacy of some of the great women leaders from North India. But don't worry, we will certainly cover all the regions of the nation in our subsequent series.
We are beginning in Uttar Pradesh though, and in today's episode, we are meeting Begum Hazrat Mahal, the so-called Tigress of Awadh. Andrew, please introduce us to her.
Yes, Jihi, today we're diving into the amazing life of Begum Hazrat Mahal. Her bravery and stand-up attitude really made a difference in history, and her story is a shining example of how tough it is to be resilient and strong, especially when you're dealing with what society expects and with the very real power of colonialism. Hazrat Mahal became a true symbol of standing up for what's right and being brave because of what you believe in. Born as Mohammadi Khanum in 1820 in Faizabad within the princely state of Awadh, she was not born into a royal or noble family. Indeed, her early life, as far as we can tell, was marked by hardship and struggle, reflecting the challenging political landscape of the time. Despite those obstacles, she demonstrated an unyielding spirit that would later go on to define her rule and her legacy.
As a young girl, Mohammadi Khanum was forced to join the royal harem, serving as a courtesan. However, her remarkable intelligence, charm, and determination did not go unnoticed. Through incredible resilience and an unbreakable spirit, she ascended the social hierarchy and eventually married Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, the last sovereign ruler of Awadh. This union not only elevated her status, but also positioned her at the heart of political affairs, where she would later play an important role in resisting British colonial rule.
After her marriage, Mohammadi was honoured with the title Hazrat Mahal. She and the Nawab had a son called Birjiz Qadar. However, in 1856, the British annexed the Kingdom of Awadh, forcing the Nawab into exile in Kolkata. Unlike her husband, however, Hazrat Mahal chose to remain in Lucknow, a decision that marked the beginning of her remarkable journey as a leader in her own right.
What makes her story truly extraordinary is the resilience and courage she displayed in the face of adversity. Initially dismissed and underestimated due to her origins as a courtesan, Hazrat Mahal defied people's expectations and prejudices. Demonstrating exceptional intelligence and determination, she stepped into her leadership role, with unwavering confidence.
Ruling Awadh in the name of her young son, Birjis Qadr, she rapidly gained respect and admiration for her strategic insight, her bravery, and her visionary leadership. Hazrat Mahal became a key figure in the resistance against British colonial forces, showcasing not only her political impact, but also her profound dedication to her people and to her homeland.
In 1857, the Indian Rebellion, also known as the First War of the Indian Independence, erupted, marking a significant uprising against the British East India Company. This period was characterized by widespread revolts across the Indian subcontinent, with both soldiers and civilians rising against British rule. In the city of Lucknow, Hazrat Mahal emerged as a formidable leader. A woman of remarkable courage and determination, she boldly declared war on the British, refusing to accept their dominance. Recognizing the importance of unity, she formed strategic alliances with neighboring rulers and influential leaders, strengthening the resistance movement. Her leadership was not just strategic, but also deeply inspirational. Her fiery speeches stirred the hearts of soldiers, filling them with courage and a sense of purpose.
And she was not without a sense of the dramatic as well. Imagine the scene one fine day, the 25th of February 1857, when she, adorned in all her finery and jewellery, in all the regalia of a queen, is mounted on a majestic elephant, leading her troops out of the city into battle with the British. Just imagine the sight of her on that impressive creature at the front of the army, fearless and determined. What a remarkable symbol of defiance against colonial power that must have been. And it was a remarkable inspiration to her forces, which brought them confidence and gave them the will to continue to fight for their freedom.
But her strength was tested when betrayal struck with fierce cruelty during a critical movement. Allies, once steadfast and trusted, turned their backs on her amidst the chaos of battle, leaving her to face the formidable British forces alone. Despite this crushing blow, her resolve remained unshaken. Refusing to give in to fear or despair, she channeled her unwavering spirit into action. Undeterred by the overwhelming odds, she took an unprecedented step, training women to stand shoulder to shoulder with men on the battlefield. Through rigorous preparation and inspirational leadership, she demonstrated that bravery and determination transcend gender boundaries. Her actions challenged the prevailing norms of her time and redefined the very essence of courage.
The British, threatened by her defiance and formidable influence, dismissed her as a merciless traitor. However, this label was nothing more than a reflection of their own fear and insecurity. In truth, Hazrat Mahal was a beacon of justice and resistance, fearlessly holding the British accountable for their own atrocities. She openly condemned their ruthless destruction of sacred temples and mosques, and fiercely criticised the unspeakable violence they inflicted upon defenceless women and innocent children. Her legacy today stands as a testament to her unbreakable spirit and her unyielding fight against oppression.
After years of resistance against British rule, the British forces eventually regained control of Lucknow, a key city during the Indian Rebellion of 1857. Following this defeat, Hazrat Mahal sought refuge in Nepal. The Nepalese ruler granted her asylum, allowing her to continue her involvement in resistance efforts alongside fellow rebel leader Nana Sahib, despite the collapse of the broader rebellion.
Hazrat Mahal deeply desired to return to her homeland of India. However, the British authorities denied her unconditional re-entry. offering her only the possibility of returning under strict conditions, including constant surveillance. This was unacceptable to her as it compromised her freedom and dignity. And so she remained in Nepal, never able again to see her beloved region of Awadh. And indeed, sadly, Hazrat Mahal passed away in Kathmandu in Nepal in 1879. She was buried in an unmarked grave near the Jamia. She was buried in an unmarked grave near the Jama Masjid, symbolizing the obscurity she endured in her final years. Adding to the poignancy of the story, her son was eventually pardoned by the British, but that came rather too late for him to be reconciled with his mother.
As we always like to conclude our biographies by asking and answering a simple question, what was her legacy? In other words, what difference did her life make? What are the lessons that we can learn from her? How does she inspire us? So, Andrew, what would you say about Begum Hazrat Mahal?
Juhi, I would say fundamentally she was an important symbol of resilience and leadership during this challenging era of India's history. Defying traditional gender roles, she demonstrated the ability to command armies, to challenge great empires, to stand as an unwavering defender of her faith and her cultural heritage. And India has not forgotten her. It's rewarded and honoured her unbreakable spirit and enduring legacy through various ways of commemorating her. There's a striking marble memorial in Lucknow, for instance, as a testament to her contributions. India issued a postage stamp a while back bearing her name and symbolising national recognition of her heroism. But perhaps one of the most precious and significant parts of her legacy, today the Begum Hazrat Mahal National Scholarship for Meritorious Girls continues to carry forward her name and her memory, empowering young girls to pursue their education and achieve excellence as she did.
So next time we think of India's freedom struggle, let's remember Begum Hazrat Mahal, the courtesan who became a queen, the queen who became a warrior, and the warrior who became a symbol of resistance. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. What a remarkable woman Begum Hazrat Mahal was, and how impactful her life has been. We hope her story inspires and uplifts you today.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much once again for joining us, and we hope to have you join us again for our next episode, where we explore another story of a remarkable Indian woman freedom fighter. If you've enjoyed this story, do please like this video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single episode of Rekindling the Legacy. Thank you.